That truffle aroma hitting your nose when the waiter sets down your $28 pasta. It's a synthetic petrochemical compound called 2,4-dithiapentane, invented in a lab, derived from petroleum byproducts. Not truffle, not even close to truffle. The ingredient that made you spend $28 is the same category of chemistry that makes gasoline smell like gasoline. Here's how the numbers actually work. A full restaurant portion of truffle pasta, the kind with black truffle printed proudly on the menu, contains roughly 0.003 grams of truffle oil. That's less than the weight of a single grain of table salt. The oil itself costs the restaurant about 4 cents per dish. 4 cents. The markup between that 4 cents and your $28 is where the story lives. Real black truffle, tuber melanosporum, costs between $800 and $1,500 per pound at wholesale. White truffle from Alba runs $3,000 to $5,000 per pound in peak season. A single shaved portion that would actually register on your palate requires about 3 grams minimum. At wholesale prices, that's already $1.50 to $5 of food cost before the kitchen touches it. Restaurants price that honestly. What you're getting instead is something else entirely. Truffle oil was invented in the 1980s, when chemists isolated the compound responsible for most of truffle's aroma, 2,4-dithiapentane, and found they could synthesize it cheaply from petrochemical feedstocks. Mix a few drops into olive oil or a neutral carrier oil, and you have something that smells convincingly truffle-adjacent to anyone who hasn't eaten real truffle, which statistically is nearly everyone ordering it. The culinary establishment figured this out 20 years ago. Gordon Ramsay calls truffle oil one of the most disgusting ingredients in professional cooking. The late Anthony Bourdain spent years describing it as a con. Thomas Keller banned it from his kitchens. Food critics who eat real truffle regularly describe synthetic truffle oil as smelling like the idea of truffle filtered through a gas station. None of this has moved the restaurant industry 1 inch. And here's why. Truffle is a perception product. You are not paying for flavor. You are paying for the signal that you ordered something expensive. The restaurant knows this. The menu knows this. The word truffle on a menu increases the perceived value of a dish by an average of 30 to 40% in consumer pricing studies, regardless of whether real truffle is present. That psychological premium is the product. The petrochemical compound is just the delivery mechanism for the feeling. Follow the supply chain, and it gets more specific. The dominant truffle oil brands used in commercial restaurant kitchens retail between $12 and $25 for a 250 milliliter bottle. That's about 50 restaurant servings per bottle at standard usage. Cost per dish, 24 to 50 cents at retail, less on wholesale restaurant accounts. A pasta with real black truffle shavings, honest enough to taste anything, would cost the restaurant $4 to $8 in food alone. The synthetic version costs less than a quarter. They charge you $28 either way. The labeling on menus is almost never technically illegal, which is the catch. Truffle pasta, truffle oil pasta, pasta with truffle essence. None of these legally require actual truffle content. Truffle oil is made from truffle-flavored compounds, which are derived from chemistry, not fungus. As long as the menu doesn't say contains fresh truffle or made with real truffle, no food standards body in the US or UK is stepping in. The ambiguity is deliberate and profitable. There is a narrow category of genuinely truffle-infused oils, usually small-batch Italian or French producers who steep actual truffle pieces in olive oil. They exist. They are not what restaurant supply chains are buying in bulk. You can identify them because they're murky, not clear, and list actual truffle content on the label with a percentage. They also cost 3 to 4 times as much as the synthetic version, and they smell nothing alike. The real version is quieter, earthier, less immediate. The counter move here is simple and costs nothing. When you see truffle on a menu for under $35, ask the server one question. Is this made with fresh truffle or truffle oil? Watch the answer. Most servers don't know and will say truffle oil. Then ask if that oil contains real truffle or natural flavoring. And the answer will almost certainly be natural flavoring, which is the food industry's term for the synthetic compound. You now know exactly what you are buying. Whether you order it is entirely your call. None of this means the pasta is bad. The dish might be genuinely well made, but $28 is not the price of good pasta. It is the price of the word truffle applied to 4 cents of petrochemical aroma and a bowl of carbohydrates. The restaurant industry built an entire luxury tier on a synthetic compound that has never touched a truffle. That's not an accident. That's a business model. And now you've seen it.